Hey everyone, Wolf Lord Rho here. Before I begin today, a big thank you to Cato Sicarius for the virtual gift voucher. Now I'm not sure how that works, Cato, but a big thank you nonetheless. Whoever you are, a big thank you for the support, I really appreciate it. And man, what a crazy few days with the Indomitus fiasco. But big props to GW for making the box set made to order. If you're not aware, which I'm sure you all are by now, you can order one box on the official Games Workshop website, which will take up to 120 days. But it's only for a limited time, so if you are interested, make sure you get your order in now. On a personal note, a huge thank you to all the people that reached out to try and help me get a box set. I really appreciated it. For all the negativity the scalper problem highlighted, our community is still amazing to me, filled with countless kind and caring people, wherever in the world you might be. So to all of you, a big thank you. But with all that said, on to today. Now, one of the most popular questions I get asked is where to begin with Warhammer 40k and Black Library novels, whether it's brand new to the 40k universe or returning players after a long absence. And the answer can be a little different depending on your circumstances. And with the launch of the new edition, there's no better time to jump into the lore than now. Now, one of the most popular questions I get asked is should I start with 40k or Horus Heresy novels? And my answer to that is if you're new to the lore and novels, it's always 40k. The Horus Heresy novels are fantastic and obviously I'm a huge fan of them, but they can be very character and event heavy, as they cram a lot of things in, and have rather large epic scale battle scenes. If you feel up for that, then by all means dive straight in with the Heresy. Book 1, Horus Rising. But personally, I would start with the 40k era novels. Then once you've found your feet, you can always go back and dive into the Heresy novels. Now, speaking of the 40k novels, for the people that may be completely new to reading Black Library novels, whether you're familiar with the lore or completely new, the best place to begin, in my opinion, are the classic Space Marine Omnibuses, the number one selection being the Ultramarines Omnibus, the Uriel Ventris Chronicles. However, if you're the kind of person who wants a bit more flavour, then you can also go for the Blood Angels Omnibus or the Space Wolves Omnibus. And there's a few reasons why I believe these are the number one choice. Firstly, these novels follow a single main character across several stories. So rather than investing into a story only to be done with it once you've finished, and then face another decision of okay, where do I go from here? With these, you can follow this character across several novels, allowing you to not only bond with the characters, but more importantly, grow with them. And as they grow and experience on their adventures, so too do you, through reading the novels, fully preparing you to move on to any genre within Black Library you wish. And in fact, there are further omnibuses you can continue on to afterwards if you choose. By the time you've finished your journey with Uriel, Ragnar or Raphael, you will be more than ready to move on to any Black Library novel you choose. So it's a perfect training ground. Reason number 2 is the sheer value for money these omnibuses provide. Look, buying novels every week or so isn't cheap, and especially so when you may not be too sure what you're diving into. So being able to get several novels for essentially the cost of one is a no-brainer. And even better, if you are still really unsure, these novels have been around a really long time now, so you can find them secondhand on eBay for even cheaper, as long as you don't mind a tatty secondhand book. And lastly, they're not too complicated. The world of Warhammer 40,000 is vast, to say the least. It's got over 30 years of development and history. It can be daunting to dive into these kind of universes, and some novels have so much going on it can be overwhelming, like I said, particularly if you are new to it all. You don't immediately understand all the terminology and phrases, and even if you are a bit more experienced, sometimes those larger scale battles can get a bit much to follow, leaving you again struggling to follow exactly what's going on. But here with these omnibuses, that doesn't happen. Perhaps due to the age of the books, but they don't overcomplicate things. It's always kept easy and clear to follow, and as a result you never feel out of your depth. Now, the only cons some people may have with these books is that, like I said, they have been around a while, and so that does mean that they were set before the return of Guilliman to the current timeline and the fall of Cadia, the event that ripped the galaxy in two. But to be honest, in my opinion, this is actually a good thing, because you see the Imperium as it was, when the Primarchs were truly legends of a near mythological past. The reverence in which they were held, and Space Marines before the introduction of the Primaris Marines. It gives you a greater understanding of the sheer upheaval not only the Space Marines have gone through in the later novels, but of the galaxy as a whole. It really has been a radical shift, and it will really aid your enjoyment of the lore in understanding that a bit more, and this grasp of history certainly does. Now, for those of you who aren't exactly new to the novels, but maybe have been away from the lore and don't know quite where to pick it up again, this is a bit more of a fluid question, as you could really jump in anywhere that you want and slowly start to pick up a picture of the wider surroundings. And I will do my recommended reading order in a separate upload. But for now, to get back up to speed, I would start with Dante, followed by the devastation of Baal. Now, aside from them just being fantastic reads, especially the devastation of Baal, which is still within my top 3 novels, you get to follow one of the most iconic and important characters in all of the Imperium, in Dante, Chapter Master of the Blood Angels, and as they desperately fight to stop Hive Fleet Leviathan, which is an epic storyline during which the events of Cadia falling, the Great Rift ripping the galaxy asunder, and Guilliman awakening all transpire. So along with Dante, you get brought from the older lore into the new, and you learn what's transpired exactly at the same time as Dante. And then from there you can easily move on to other novels such as Dark Imperium, which follows a returned Roboute Guilliman. But just experiencing that change along with Dante, especially if you have read some of the older lore previously, really makes that journey all the more meaningful. You're not just picking up randomly after these major events have happened. You are there living and experiencing it in the moment. And like I said, there are several other great reads you can move on to after this, and I will talk about those in a future upload. So with all that said, I hope that has answered many people's questions, because as I said at the start, it is by far my most frequently asked question. I personally started with the Uriel Ventris novels, and I have to say it was a brilliant start for me. So if it works for me, hopefully it will work for you too. But there's nothing wrong with not following my recommendations. I'm just giving a bit of advice in my opinion. But where did you guys all start on your novel reading journeys? And are you looking forward to the upcoming Indomitus novel? Drop your experiences in the comments below. As always, I love to read them, guys. A huge thank you to all my subscribers. Your support really means a lot to me, it truly does. And if you're new, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. And if you enjoyed this particular vid, then why not drop a like on it too. But with that said, I am off, and I'll see you all again real soon.